calling the city commissioner meeting for April to order. Betsy, can you give us a roll call? Okay, Susan's going
Roll call. Joe Kaiser.
Here.
Susan Jett here. David Eagle here. Tony Salzman.
Here.
Ron Page.
Here.
We're here.
Thank you, that's right.
We have one more. Okay, let's start out with a moment of silence, please. Approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Make any amendments or anything?
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda as it is written.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Agenda carries. Okay. Approval of last March's minutes.
We have a correction that needs to be made under old business, number D. David Eagle didn't make that motion to not sell lots anymore on page 2.
Do you have
Motion to amend the minutes.
second? Who seconds?
Susan.
Susan seconds. Those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Carries. We now need a motion to accept the amended minutes.
Make a motion to accept the amended minutes as written.
Second.
Susan.
Those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Okay, we open the mic up to the property owners. Please state your name, your address, and your village, please. Mike is now yours.
Anybody want to speak? On to our next old business, special planning committee update. That would be yours, Susan. I'm happy to tell you that on May 1st at 4 o'clock in this location, there's a group of people who will meet for this special forward-thinking planning for the city amenities for Cherokee Village. You're welcome to come to that meeting if you want to. It's going to be our organizational meeting. I've spoken to 17 people, and we have several that are just very excited about it. Several that are like, call me when it gets working on work, and several that are just, they're excited to be part of it. So if you want to, you're welcome to come and either be part of it or listen to what we do so that maybe you'd like to join in the information. So May 1st, which is a Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock, and it'll be in this room. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, both course of May 1st. This is open for even those.
It's a planning meeting. We have a core group that is
So
going
anybody
to.
that they want to try to be on this committee,
Sir,
if they, anybody that would like to try to be on this committee, they
you want them to
can.
come and be part of it.
Next is bylaws, community privileges. I have reviewed this document. There's only one thing I can see that needs to be changed, and that is activity around the marina. It's in section 5
What's your page?
page 8 of 9.
Page 8 of 9?
Yeah, section 5-37-5 marina rules. A, the only thing we didn't put in there is the buffer to be around the marina. And I need recommendations from the commissioners on what they think is safe distance around the marina.
Typical in the state or everywhere that you're at, including the Corps of Engineer waters, it's usually 100 feet from the marina. So you can't fish, swim, put a drop line, which we can't do anyway. You That would be my recommendation, is 100 feet.
So, 150?
No,
One is 100 feet, and we probably would have to amend that bylaw the way it's written.
no, it's highlighted because when we were transposing all the holiday hour stuff, it was an odd distance, and we just left it that way to be considered. And I'm sorry I didn't call you on the table what we were doing.
We only have two situations where that would even apply, and that's on Omaha and Thunderbird. And if the additional docks that are secured, and there's no marina on them, we would probably need to come up with a, you know what I mean, an area there so that people know how far they have to stay away from there. But, as far as the marina, I would recommend 100 feet.
And I think that it says 100 feet at Thunderbird because when we're out on the lake safety boat, those little concrete pads that are sticking out that people like those we are awful careful of people being on those and swimming in the 4th of July and there's parties going on. So I believe that it's already posted 100 feet there. I'm just trying to make that correct.
Ron, thoughts?
I think you're right, Susan. I remember that when we were driving around initially, and on Thunderbird, it does say 100. I can't recall if it says that in Omaha or not. I was trying to find a picture of what it took, and I don't see it. Omaha.
Omaha says what?
100 feet.
That's right.
Okay, I just couldn't remember. Thank you very much.
Ron, thoughts?
Nothing was added.
Okay, I'll make that, we can make that correct.
Okay, so I need a motion to the 100-foot buffer and a second.
I'll second that.
Motion made by,
Well, I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. So, you will take the heat for it, so let's go.
those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, amended, motion carries. Now, is there any more discussion on?
I think we need to have a motion to accept these into the bylaws that are written. And I would make that motion.
I need a motion. You want to say, is there any more discussion? That's what we need. Any more discussion on these, so that everybody has a chance to review?
Then I'll make a motion to accept these into our bylaws.
Second. Need a second?
Well, no, sure, we need a motion. So, yes,
Ron seconds. Those in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next we have before us the RDOT proposal for taking away some more of Papoose Park.
Actually, it's just some trees. It starts with this email that I put on the front of it, and then it shows the cost of what they're going to pay us for the trees. These are the trees around the electrical poles that you were talking about, Tony. That's what's holding that up, is they won't go any further with those poles until the trees come down around them. So the email kind of tells you about it. The second page gives you the cost of what they will pay us for them. And the last page is just our W-9 that we have to send when we sign this. All I need is permission to sign this. I've signed the other RDOT stuff that they require to be 70.
I would make this motion for the Arkansas easement project. Wait a minute.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ron. Those in favor?
Aye.
Joe? Aye.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And I will tell you, just as a side note, that the people that I've talked to about this long-term planning committee, some of them have had some fun thoughts about Papoose Park. So this is a big day.
Okay, next we have before us is the dock at 50
right, Mr. McGee, that he would be blocking any kind of access for them. It's actually goes into a real swampy and vegetated area right there. So I think the 34 point, the furthest point was what I needed approval for, but I think the stop works.
Also, I went by there yesterday, and like you said, all it was from the other side, and there is no way, that's that creek or something that's on the other side of it. And it doesn't look like it will, harm anybody else. It'd be pretty, probably easy like that for them to back. Right.
Tony, will you speak in your
I'm
microphone?
sorry.
I can't
There
hear
it
you.
is.
Say that again?
I said, I went back there, saw the same thing you did basically, and, you know, we probably have to let it floor for him to get in and out safely.
But he owns both of those lots.
Yes.
So that's the end of any water frontage, or what little bit he has.
That's correct. I make a motion to approve the extension.
Second? Any second?
I have a question.
Okay.
In approving that, is there, what if they put the dock in or start to construct the dock and they decide, well, hey, it's not deep enough, and they want to drag line or dredge it to get it deeper, because I'm really familiar with that creek, and it's about ankle deep, almost got to the middle of the lake,
So I've
so
already done some work.
he's already dredged.
From my understanding.
Last year.
Last year,
And he tried to do some dredging the year that he built, and we stopped that. And then he did some silt removal in '23. So I think he's fully aware of what he's got and what he's dealing with, and if he chose to alter the plan that y'all approved in any way, it would no longer be within our bounds or our regulations.
Okay.
That's all we can say.
I have a motion, and I need a second.
I'll second.
Any more discussion?
Well, just the discussion is like Joe said, if by chance something happens, I don't want us to be opening a can of worms.
He's going by the rule.
Well, yeah, he is right now. And I know that we feel good about this right now, but what if, like Joe says, what if? I'm sort of scared. It's a good idea right now, but what if he does this and it doesn't work out? Does he really understand that he can't just keep on going out further and wider and digging deeper and
I'm sure he does, but he came to us.
okay, I mean, if I'm the only one that's got a knot in my stomach about this,
Right. You know,
So,
there's no prior lawsuit that were involved, but
I think that, I look at it based on paper and what we got written down, and he's within the perimeters of his request, and he's bringing it actually to see it. I think the way I read this is actually Betsy could have approved 34 feet. It's coming to the commissioner. It's in the rules, is what I'm saying, so, and he's not requesting silver removal or anything like that, and I would think that at that point, that becomes a separate issue, we would just have to handle that when it happens.
and I don't think we can use that caution for every person in the future because of one bad apple or one bad situation. You know, we approved some others at 34 just in the last meeting, so.
okay.
Okay, need a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, under new business, we really don't have anything, but I know a lot of people are here to hear about the lawsuit between us, the city, and the waterworks. Right now, we are under a non-disclosure until the mass media comes out. Press release, called mass media. But I can say the suits have been settled. We are separate from the water department. We don't pay them any money anymore. We don't pay the city money anymore, so it's done. Some of our capital improvements won't be done this year, but we're done. We don't have to pay $14,480 a month anymore.
How many of you are familiar with Tammy Lynette and her song, "R.D.I.B.O. RCE"?
Though we didn't get the surge of people that we thought we were going to, we had 9 paying campers in our campground. We had 3 golfers that took advantage of our Eclipse golfing. We did sell quite a few boat stickers prior to the eclipse, a little earlier in the season than normal. But on the day of the eclipse, we manned all of the boat docks and ramps, and we found everyone in compliance putting their boats in except for one. And that person bought a day pass for $10. So I think that as exciting as it was, and I truthfully say, I thought the eclipse was really amazing. We didn't make the money that we had hoped for our income. On the positive side, I think that the people that did visit our community saw some really great things, and we heard lots of great stuff about the lakes, and hopefully that will turn people into return visitors to our community. We hope so too. And in addition, it gave us an opportunity to do a lot of cleanup in preparation, not just for us, but for all of downtown. And so I think that was another positive that came from it, as we looked the best we've looked in a long time. So I think that's good. I did not print the attorney letter for irrigation today. It was something that was sent to me during mediation. It was a very general letter, and I think that there was some conversation that was going to be had from it before we would send it out, so we can either pass it on to the next meeting, or y'all can have your conversation about it, and then I can present you with the letter that the attorney suggests that we send to each of the lake owners, however y'all want to decide to do that.
I would like to see the letter first.
Okay. Well, then we want to put this on old business for next month.
Sounds good to me.
It is something we talked about previously, but it's just bringing it back to the surface. Gosh, y'all, we're going to be having some days in our office that we're going to close for a few hours and continue to do some more training on our software. But on the table today, I was able to bring our February and March financials. So that gets us current right now. Our April financials won't be finished or ready for review until the May meeting. But it does give us our financials. They do have a little different look to them, but I think they're really easy to read. In my opinion, they're easier to read than what we had before, and they're about 9 pages versus 18. Always, if anyone has any questions, please contact me. I'd be more than happy to explain or walk somebody through, or whatever they need to help understand it. But that will get us current, and tomorrow those should be posted on our website as well. Landmark CPA firm, Mr. Evans, that was the auditor that I contacted that was on record for Holiday Island. He is very interested in doing our audits for us. He asked if he could just get through today, being tax day, and that as soon as he could make it to the next day, he would get some bids together for us for doing our audits. He did give me a little feedback and felt like that the audits that I saw on Holiday Island's website is the format that he would use for us. And if you compare that to any of our previous audits, it's like reading a good book versus a legal document that is hard to follow and gives a lot of terminology that makes it really important and no one understands. So I really think that this auditor would be a great auditor for us to go with in the future. And if this price is comparative to what we've been spending, then this would be a good thing for us as well. He will be looking at 22 and 23. And that's all I have for today.
Do you have a time Ryan for us, that's when you would complete those audits?
No, he just told me that after today, we would be back with his quote. And then we would go from there.
I've had a couple people ask me about it, so I think it's important that we share as much as possible as the finances impact every property owner.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
These asphalt,
So in our last meeting, I'm sorry, I guess that should have been on old business, but we've already Trico says that if we decided to do 2 of them together, that he would give us a 10% discount. So that was the only discount that he would offer. But we haven't seen Atlas's numbers yet. So that would give us our 2 bids for the paving.
We'll have to look at the budget once everything's started.
Yes, yes.
We'll move that to the business.
Okay, I'll put that there.
Need a motion to move the asphalt roads to move it.
Then already go to this.
Thank you. Anything around? Tony? Susan?
Really appreciate a lot of the hard work that's going on with repaving in one of the places, and it clearly improves, if you will, Cherokee Village as a whole.
Susan, any comments? Tony? Joe?
I think with it being the season of fishing and people thinking about fishing, we really need to, and I talked to the lake committee, and they're going to be running the ideas across their board and then, or their meeting, and then bringing back maybe some possible recommendations on length limits and creel limits and so forth on our lakes. We are bound by Arkansas Game and Fish Commission creel limits according to the book, because our waters flow into state waters. So whatever the state limit is what you have to abide by here. However, we can implement our own length limits on our private lakes because we own them. So that's something the Lake Committee I'm asked to do, to come back and present us with some ideas. Length limits on probably on largemouth bass and Kentucky bass. We have a few of those. We don't have any smallmouth to speak of. And then crappie, but the crappie are very plentiful in Thunderbird. They're plentiful in Omaha, but they're little bitty, tiny fish, and so there's a lot of lake management that needs to be done. But that's something that we need to listen to the recommendations from the Lake Committee and then make decisions, and then I guess we get with our lake manager man and see what he suggests as far as to shop the lakes and see where we're at, so we have some concrete information. I know I keep saying that like a broken record, but that's where we're at and what we need to do for the future of our lakes. I've been out in them this week, and I did not see any sign of major spawning going on, which concerned me. So the bass have either done it and left, and if they did, their eggs aren't going to hatch because the water's too cold. Either that or there's just not enough of them to spawn, or there's too many and they can't get up to make, they're not even interested in making beds because there's too many. So we got to examine that with some knowledge from our Arkansas game and fish biologists and probably our lake committee as well, and then recommendations from the lake committee. But now is the time to be thinking about that, in my opinion. Yeah, the bow hunt thing that we discussed kind of got squelched and put on the back burner because the lake guy that manages the lakes and squirts the weeds and all that said that he needed to examine it and look at them all day. So as far as I'm concerned, that's tabled until the weed guy comes back and tells us what he thinks. I think personally, if you ask me, no, I'm not going to do that. My wife told me I need to make personal opinions. I love to shoot carp. I'm just going to say that. That's a public thing I can say. I think it would be great to shoot carp. I'm not saying where I am. That's all I can say. I love Loretta. I'm proud to be a citizen of Cherokee Village. I'm coming up with things I can say. And I didn't shoot over it. So, that's that. But we are waiting. This man will come back with some kind of a recommendation. But that's all I can say on the lakes. It's great. We've got a group of people interested in wanting to help, and I'm excited. I think it'll work.
Well, you're doing all that. Are you going to recommend spot limits or anything?
That in my if I were to do that, if I could come up with something, I had discussed that with the lake committee. I really feel like we need slot limits on 2 of the lakes for sure, Omaha and Thunderbird, just to protect the overall breeding population of bass. So, according to what we found out in our meeting with the Arkansas Game and Fish, I guess it was last year, the best breeding stock of bass is between 14.5 to 20 inches long. And if you have those fish of that length in the lake, you're going to have a fantastic spawn. Your fish begin to grow bigger. That gives them more food forage in the future to eat because they're cannibals. They're going to eat whatever they can eat. And I think you'd see the overall improvement of our lakes. But that's something we've got to discuss. We can, according to Arkansas Game and Fish, implement our own length limits as far as that goes. And so I've asked these guys to look into that too. It's a possibility of slot limits on those 2 lakes for sure. I would recommend a 15 to 21 inch slot limit. Anything that you catch between 15 inches and 21 inches, you have to throw a factor immediately. Anything over 21, you can keep 1, and it's below 15 is based on the state rules. That would be my recommendation, but I'm just a guy that loves over limits.
Any more comments? Okay, at this time, we will open the mic up to property owners, 3 minutes at a time. If you want to call, address the commission.
Hi, I'm Matt Custer here from Board. Frank McCoy, 37 Chiosaka Drive, Lake Omaha. And you guys were talking of making those swimming pool around boat docks and stuff too. I think you need to include the spillways. There have been people swimming
Would you
around the
speak into the
spillways.
microphone?
So people swim around the spillways, and that is not safe.
No, they're not supposed to be
Yeah,
there.
well, I think we have signs on a couple of bridges.
Yeah, they need to be posted. The smaller lakes aren't posted.
They are.
Are they?
Yes.
Lake Shadoos is right there at the boat ramp, or the Aztec, the Aztec spillway isn't here where they can swim at, so we don't have one on Aztec. But all the lakes have them.
Okay.
It also has a no gun.
That was no swimming at the boat ramp.
Boat ramp, boat marina, and spillway, 100 feet is what it says.
Okay. I didn't know there were smaller lakes proposed.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you for noticing 3 minutes to make them bigger than.
Well, let me tell you, on Eclipse Monday, I think Mr. McCoy was kind enough to volunteer for us and manned our boat ramp at Omaha. We had another employee at Chanute, and after 2.5 hours of nobody being at Chanute, we pulled him and took him to Thunderbird. Within an hour, I drive by, I've got 3 kids swimming at the Chanute boat ramp. One of them is down inside the spillway crying, trying to get out. The mom is around trying to tell her to crawl up through the driftwood and the debris that was washed into the spillway to get out. She ended up having to walk all the way down underneath the dam, crawl up the wall, and back up the top side to get out of the spillway. So posting it doesn't always mean that people are going to reach it and abide by it. But legally, we had to post that for insurance reasons. Takes all kinds.
Any more comments? Do we need an executive session?
I don't need one.
No executive session? I need a motion to adjourn.
I mean, motion to adjourn.
Second. Seconds. Who's the second? Those in